Not a paid sponsor, but should be. Okay. Bat heads, bat heads, bat heads. Bat heads, bat heads, bat heads. Where art thou, bat heads? Okay. There we go. There we go. This over here. Don't mind me. Just talking to myself, okay? Don't mind me. Bat heads. Trying something different today. What are we doing different today? We're doing a lot of things different today than we did yesterday. And the day before that. And the day before that. We're doing a lot of things differently today than yesterday. Okay? Here we are. We're cleaning the bat head. Excuse me. We're drinking some beer. We're celebrating. Today is a very special day for America. Today is UFC Freedom 250, also known as UFC White House Edition. So I'm pretty pumped today. I got all of my honeydews done and out of the way early today. So early, in fact, that way before the event starts, I'm gonna have time to get a Pottery live stream in before the UFC event starts. So I'm super juiced about that. Super, super juiced. I hope Justin Gaethje shocks the world at the White House of all places and beats Ilia Topuria when everybody's wrote Gaethje off. I think that would be amazing. So I also want to point out, since a few of you just tuned in, look how clean this pottery wheel is. Like, look at this, y'all. This is incredible. I just cleaned up everything before this live stream started, and that's why it took me so long. I got me a fresh 5-gallon bucket of water. We have an empty clay bin. We have 4 bat heads ready to snap onto the wheel. But, I got this clump of B-mix sand that I have to get rid of before we get going. So full disclosure, I'm going to do 4 throws today. And I think the microphone is just a microphone on my phone, and it's basically in setup tilted with the stand on, like speaker mode or whatever. So sorry if the sound is off. I usually try to use a Bluetooth. Sometimes that doesn't work, so we're just on speaker. I'll try to speak up. But the point is, I got this chunk of B-mix sand, and I'm feeling this, and this feels like 3 to 3.5 pounds of clay to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as a little chest camera and let you guys kind of see. I got pretty big hands. I'm a relatively big dude. I'm 6'1", $175 right now. We're a little heavy, a little heavier than usual. We're still getting rid of our winter weight. But I'm not a huge dude, right? But I got some big hands, and this is a big old hunk of clay, right? I'm saying it's about 3.5 pounds. Let me check the chat. Oh, we got Melissa. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Let me see. Hey, my friend. Hello, Melissa. I see you out there. We got 3.5 pounds of B-mix sand that we're going to work with. And I have 4 throws in me this stream. That is my goal. Now, if I get upset and we call things at 3, We count things at 3. But the intention is to be here for minimum 1, maximum of 2 hours that I'm devoting to pottery today. Okay? And ask me what's been going on in my life. If you dare want to know, it's in that pinned message. Ask me. If you want to know what's been going on that has kept me away from pottery and just YouTube in general for the last, I think, 10 days. It's been like 10 days. So don't get me started. But let's just say we went to our beach house that we own on the Texas Gulf, and we've been Airbnb-ing it now for about 3 full months. And for the first time in 2 months, we were able to get there. That was about 8 days ago, roughly. That was the last time I live streamed, was the day that we left. Anyway, point is, haven't done anything on YouTube since then, until right now. We're spinning clay. Thanks for tuning in. Before I get my hands dirty, I do want to go see if there's any more chat real quick. Holla at me, Melissa. Checking in on you right now. Thumb up the stream if you could. I appreciate you. So, looking good, Harry Potter. Hey, honey. Hey, honey, I see you out there, Katie Gulick. That's my wife, guys. Hit her up. She is here. Holler at Katie Gulick in chat. That is my honey, and she is happy to sit here and watch me do pottery, maybe. We'll see. So, clean it up later. So, been busy. We went to the beach house for the first time in 7 weeks, so almost 2 months. And we've been Airbnb-ing the place now for 3 months. And it's been awesome, perfect, 5-star rating all across the board from everybody. But there has been some issues that have come up that we've had to deal with. Plumbing issues, drain pipes backing up into the shower and through the toilets once, things like that. And it's tough when it's big things, because I can handle most things in the house. But it gets to a point where you got to do contractor work. And you guys know as well as I know, when contractor work begins, it can get really expensive really quickly. So, long story short, we got us a nice little beach house. It's nothing crazy. It's a 1-story house with 2 master bedrooms. It's built in completely symmetrical floor plan, with the center of the building being the kitchen, the dining area, and the living room, all open in the center of the house, with a master bedroom on the left and a master bedroom on the right. They both have 2 queen-size beds in them. And then we have a separate detached shop in-law suite building. The shop is 3 bays and it's deep, so you can do like 1.5 vehicles. So it's like 1 vehicle in each bay, and you can do some storage. Let me check the chat real quick. I'm still going to tell a story. So the garage is deep, and at the back of it on the ocean side, thanks for thumbing up the stream, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. And hello, Katie. Melissa, meet Katie again. It has an in-law suite at the back of the shop on the ocean side of the shop, and then it's about 30 feet to the ocean. We have about 3 foot of beach on the edge of that. And an 8-foot seawall down to the beach area. It's got other stuff, but I'm not here to sit here and give you a room-by-room visual audio tour of the Airbnb. But the point is it's basically a 3-bedroom, but it's like 3 master bedroom. It's also got a swimming pool, ocean side, 20 feet from the edge of the ocean. And it's got a 100-foot pier, 100 foot out into the ocean, with a 30-foot wide T-head on it at the end. And then the T-head is about 20 feet wide. So it goes out over the ocean, then it tees, and then that tee is about 20 feet wide across, 30 feet long. And it's amazing fishing. We're getting pictures from our Airbnb guests every week of the fish they're catching out there, and I'm so jealous because I go out there and I catch little fish. I catch a lot of cool stuff, stingrays, whatever, but it's a lot of little fish. But I go out there and I have a good time. I drink a lot of beer, and we usually host friends and family. But now that it's an Airbnb, and we were in the middle of the school year, towards the end of the school year, I should say, when we started Airbnb-ing it out, we haven't been able to get there during the week. And we thought it wouldn't book much, so we could still go on the open weekends during the school year. But then what happened is, everybody sees the Airbnb listing and they're like, holy shit, this place is incredible looking. And they all are booking it every weekend since we've listed it. And there's literally been one weekend where we could have gone, but we had other things going on a Saturday here in town in San Antonio that we had to deal with. So it wasn't a weekend we could get out of town during the school year. So we literally had to wait till the summer started. And then we went down there during the week. And it was the first time we're at the Airbnb for 7 weeks. I'm sorry I'm rambling. I'm a slow talker. I'm kind of slow. But the point is we go down there for the first time in 7 weeks. And my jaw hits the floor. Katie's jaw hits the floor. And we're both like, oh my God, look at all of the damage. Look at all of the little handyman fixes I have to do while we're here for 2 days before the next guest shows up on day 3. So that gives us 1 day to get the house cleaned. And we have a cleaning service there locally that we use. We used to clean it ourselves, but it's so inconvenient because we're 160 miles away. We hire a cleaning service locally, and they do an amazing job. But I'm talking trim pieces falling off the bottom of refrigerators, wine refrigerators, so like little mini refrigerators, but little vent trim piece across the bottom of it, just falling off, laying in front of it. And I got to snap 10 clips into place while I'm laying on my back like Plumber Joe, put it back on. And I'm just like, people just be breaking your stuff, you know, it's just what it is. And then you make your way through the house and you're like, oh man, look at what they did to my guitar. You know, those guitars that I just spent a full week refurbishing, not a full week, but over the course of a full week, refurbishing 2 guitars and painting them and doing a real nice clear coat job on them and making them look presentable again. Old broken guitars, one electric, one acoustic. Hang them on the wall at the Airbnb. And now the stand is tilted off the wall, and I bolted that thing down tight into wood with 2 long wood screws, like 3-inch wood screws into the wood through 5/8 drywall. So it's well sunk into the wood. It was plenty tight, and you're like, what are these people doing? Like turning screwdrivers on my stuff? Like, what are they doing? You know, but it's just little things like that. We have a really nice shutter system, storm shutter system, off of the back porch. So we have a screened in patio that has storm shutters that close down at nighttime or during storms, and it protects the screens and the patio area and everything from the weather. Really nice system. I don't know what it would have cost to have done something like that. Probably in the range of $50,000, I would imagine. But it's screened off from the bugs, insects, etc. It's really nice. Well, the damn main door up to the outside pool area, the hydraulic hinge is bent, and one of the bolts is coming out on one side of the hinge. It's cockeyed, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Metal trim piece on the door is dragging on the door frame, and it's coming up off of the top of the door right here, metal door trim piece. And I'm like, okay, so I get my tools out. I'm up on a ladder, and I'm screwing shit back down into the top of the door. And it's just like, okay. Our 2-day vacation just turned into 2 days of Mr. Handyman Fix It. And I'm still in the process of remodeling halfway both sides of our duplex. One side's complete. We got tenants in, thank you, Jesus. We got tenants in just a few weeks ago. But our duplex sat vacant for 6 months. It was our primary source of income. Thanks for asking about what's going on in my life. Melissa, sorry to rant, but thanks for listening. But anyway, our duplex is sat vacant for 6 months, and I used that time while it was vacant to start my remodeling on my duplex. And I say me, but it was all Katie as well. It's a group effort. I don't mean to take all of the glory and the credit, so don't misunderstand me. I don't mean to misspeak. We get a tenant in just 3 weeks ago, I believe, and we just got the other side that's only about 75% complete remodeled. We just got a lease signed today. I've been showing the property once, twice a week for months now, 2 months maybe, since finishing up the majority of the remodels to where it's halfway showable. And then I've been distracted from working on that by A, being lazy, and B, having other shit to do. And we're managing 4 addresses, 3 physical properties, one's a duplex, so it's 4 addresses. And it's literally 4 separate structures too. So it's kind of like 2 2-bedroom homes with a shared carport at the L that they join at, with a covered carport at the L that the 2 sides join at. So there's like no common walls in the duplex. So for all intents and purposes, they're kind of like 2 standing structures. So I'm getting distracted. I'm sorry. I was telling a story. We just got a lease signed on the other one that's only 70%, 75% complete. And I've been working on other stuff. Beach house here at this house. Being lazy also. Try to be honest with myself, you know. I've been playing a lot of video games lately, no doubt. But that kind of stuff is just what you do in your free time, what you do in your spare time. That's not what you should be spending your time doing. Especially when you have real life things to take care of. And if anybody knows anything about me, I'm an adult, and I take care of my adulting. And it has always served me well, because everything I have in this life was given to me by these 2 hands, right? And these 2 hands have served me well. I trust these 2 hands to do surgery if I needed to. Like, I try to be not overly confident in what I can do, but I try to be prepared for anything. And you try to be in control, you try to have steady hands, right? I could catch a ball like an absolute boss. Football, baseball, basketball. I was good at all the ball sports. Soccer, didn't really play much, just on the playground. But I was always good at ball sports. Those are fun. I like sports. Sports are easy. It makes sense to me. It's just athletics. What are the rules? I love sports. I love competition, more importantly. And not to cut another UFC promo, but I'm super stoked that today at, wrong direction. Today at, I forget what time, 7 o'clock Central Time. I'm in Texas, San Antonio, so it's Central Time. I think it's 7 o'clock tonight, UFC Freedom 250 White House Edition. Let's go. Thanks for sticking around. The 8 of you that are still in here, I appreciate it if you thumb up the stream. I'm here to chat, and always here to read the chat. I've done my own plumbing before, but it was a do-it-myself or pay someone, and I didn't have the money for that. I never understood why people have to destroy stuff that is not theirs. Oh, let's talk about that, Melissa. Let's talk about that, Melissa. I don't know why people destroy things that are not theirs. Okay, so when you go on a trip somewhere, whether it's to go stay with family, friends at their place, or you go on an Airbnb trip with friends and family to some other place, you know that you're liable for whatever, and you always want to treat other people's stuff with more respect than you treat your own, which should be very much respect, okay? But I think what tends to happen with some people, not everybody, there's been some really good guests, like I'd say probably 80-90% of the guests are really good guests, and they are respectful of your things. Sorry I'm going so slow on the clay, but I'm planning on being here a while, and the intent is to sit lower in my chair because it does better on my back, and to get better balance and brace from that. We'll see if that works, but I'm also going to crack open this not a channel sponsor, not alcoholic beverage, just a tea, but they are quite delicious. are we? We signed a lease for our duplex for the second side. We just signed a lease for the other side, the main side. Now we got the second side signed today. They will be a paying customer August 1st. Lease begins. Cool. So I got some time to finish because we're only 70%. No problem. That's easy. I do have to shift my focus to finishing the painting, etc., etc., etc. So the video gaming is going to have to go. My intention is to continue doing probably 2, maybe 3, maybe sometimes 1 pottery streams a week while I take care of some other business and I have more free time to focus on my hobbies. But keep in mind, the biggest part of my focus has to be my 3 children that are very young. One of them has autism, and she, excuse me, she is my middle child, and she is probably the single biggest reason why my wife and I do not work right now. Otherwise, we both have very good professional careers, and we're in our prime earning years, and we would be highly motivated to be out in the job field hustling during our high earning years. My wife's a registered nurse. I'm a high voltage electrician, and both of us made enough money, let's say. We both made enough money working our professions in the Bay Area in California before we moved to San Antonio about 2 years ago. I'm from Wyoming. My wife is from Virginia and Southern California. I'm from Wyoming. That's the only really home I know, Wyoming. Now think about that. Wyoming is such a big state, but nobody lives there. There's more antelope than people, there's more sheep than people, there's more cows than there's more everything than people in Wyoming. It's a very interesting state, and that's where I'm from. A little town of 500 people, Shoshone, Wyoming, in the middle of the map. If anybody's out there on Google Earth, you could Google Earth, Shoshone, Wyoming. And I'm so proud to be from that small little town. It's about maybe realistically it's 600 people today. 2/3 of the streets in the town are dirt, 1/3 of them asphalt, paved. There is a stop sign, T intersection at the center of town. There's 3 gas stations on 3 corners, and there's City Hall on 1 corner. And that is the intersection of 2 highways. One highway takes you to Thermopolis through a canyon, Wind River Canyon to Thermopolis, Wyoming, which is home of the world's largest mineral hot springs, and they have entire swimming pools, just like they do in like Iceland and places like that, carved into the natural mineral springs at places like the TP and the Star Plunge resorts. And I grew up swimming in those natural spring swimming pools all summer long, every summer of my childhood. And I love Wyoming. I love representing Wyoming. 307, that's the area code for the 307. If you don't know anything about Wyoming, you'll know this by the end of this stream. Wyoming is the 11th largest state by physical size in the 50 United States. It's the 11th largest, but it's the 50th most populated. There's about 500,000 people, roughly, in the whole state. That's the 11th largest in the Union. And I'm getting absolutely nowhere on my pot. I'm sorry. I'm thirsty. I'm sorry. Let me check the chat real quick. We're here. We got 10 people, 7 people. Hello, people. I never understood why people have to destroy stuff that isn't theirs. Well, again, back to that, to close out that point, if I didn't already, Melissa, it's because people don't respect their own things oftentimes, you have to teach them how to respect their own things first before they can then learn to respect other people's stuff with more respect than their own, out of respect of other people's stuff. You understand? People are very selfish. That's my point. But Wyoming is an amazing place. It's an amazing place to grow up. It's an amazing place to visit if you've never been. Go see Yellowstone. Go see Yellowstone. It's beautiful. I'm looking at this. I think I'm going to grab a sponge. I think I'm going to start some pulling, maybe. I don't know. Let's talk pottery a little bit. I'm going to grab a sponge, start pulling a little bit. But I haven't done pottery in 10 days, and this is my first time getting back into it. Oh, already messed up there, my grip. Okay. Didn't get much height there. But yeah, I'm from a little town in Wyoming. It's called Shoshone. Shoshoni. If you ever wanted to pull that up on Google Earth, maybe in a separate tab, you can see the little town that I'm from. It's a very cool little town. But it's not really a little town, you see? And that's what people don't understand about small town people, is that it's not a little town. It's a large family. Big difference. Okay? Everybody knew everybody. There was 535 people in the census when I lived there for 9 years of my youth. So that's why it's home. Because the other 9 years, 10 years of my youth, I was all over the place. I say that I'm from America because I've lived every bit of it from California to Chicago and everything in between. That's where I've been the other 10 years of my youth and various parts after. But home is always Wyoming because I spent 9 years of my youth there in central Wyoming in a small town of 535 people, Shoshone, S-H-O-S-H-O-N-I. And it's a really cool place, surrounded by Indian reservations. Really cool place. Love it there. Love the people there more than anything. Those people are my family. Okay? And everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everybody's kids, everybody's aunts and uncles, grandmas and grandpas, what families are related to what other families with different last names. And it's not that everybody's your brother or sister. It's more like everybody's like a distant cousin, if that makes sense. And that's where I'm from. My wife's a city gal. And for whatever reason, she fell in love with a country boy like me. And when I say country boy, I don't mean no cowboy, boot wearing, tight Wrangler jean wearing cowboy. I mean just a kid from Wyoming and the rest of America. That's where I'm from. And, you know, I got my politics. Everybody else has got their politics. Some philosopher said man is a political animal. I believe that. But I believe, like, what we teach our children is probably the most defining part of our own culture. And we have a way of thinking in America, Americans, that, excuse me, that we have a way of thinking that we all know better, or that maybe we're all one culture, but we're really not. If you've ever been to the Deep South, Louisiana, you know, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, etc., it's a lot different than New York City, Los Angeles, Seattle, Tacoma, etc., which is a lot different than Denver, Colorado Springs. America's got, I'd say, I don't know, I'm no expert, but at least 6 unique little culture pockets. New England definitely among them, you know. But you also got like the Midwest, the Great Lakes civilization, That's kind of like Chicago, Detroit, Columbus, I think. I mean, I don't know much about the Great Lakes. I never really spent much time up that way. Just like Chicago, Gary, Indiana, Gary Hammond, Chicago a couple times. But I lived in Gary Hammond for like a year when I was really young, and I don't remember much about it. I remember it being a little dirty. Anyway, let me just take a quick break here, catch up on the chat. I'm here to talk. I'm here to chat about anything, so let me know in chat if you guys have any questions. We got 2 people left. We're all about small town living, a community of family. Always lived in a small town, definitely not a city girl. I got to go to Yellowstone once, 6 years ago, on our way back from my nephew's wedding in California. Just listening. I never understood why people... Okay, I already read that. All right. Well, thanks, Melissa, for sticking around. Thanks, Melissa, for the chat. I'm going to keep on talking as if you're the only one there, Melissa, because you're the only one in chat. So, private conversation with me, my #1 fan, Melissa. I sent you some goods in the mail, Melissa, and apparently I did not package them very well. Where I grew up, in a small town in Wyoming, when we sent things in the mail, we would write on the box, "Fragile." That way they would know, hey, don't mess around too much with this. Take it easy. Don't put this at the bottom of the stack. Put it on the top, you know what I'm saying? But apparently the U.S. Postal Service is not the same everywhere, and I could not believe the condition of the pieces that you sent me pictures of. I could not believe that came from just regular USPS handling. I could not believe that. It's almost like they saw "fragile" written on the box and then saw that I didn't pay extra for insurance, and they're like, yeah, let's break that. That's kind of how I feel about it. So it's like, okay, I need to learn how to package better, which I did watch a couple videos on yesterday, actually, how a professional packages his mugs and bowls, etc., with cardboard and paper wrap, and I thought that was very interesting. But I also need to learn the better shipper, because that shipper charged me $22 just to break those goods because I didn't pay $30, so it's kind of crazy. I thought that was absolutely insane. So that caught me off guard. I need to figure that out before I start selling anything, you know what I mean? I just need to be, if we're going to go down that route, a more professional about it. So, sorry to you, because I let you down. My intention was to send you 4 or 5 beautiful pieces, and I thought I did. And the one piece that I liked the most out of that collection I sent you, Melissa, was the 2 vases, or jars. I'd call them more jars. One had more of a vase lip outward on it and a wider opening inward, and one had a skinny neck like a bottle. That's what I would definitely call more of a jar, and that's the one I like the most out of all of them, Melissa. So when I saw the top broken off of that and sanded or ground off, I was like, man, that broke my heart. That broke my heart. It really did. Ain't gonna lie. That was my favorite piece that I sent you, but it also looked like my second favorite piece I sent you made it out pretty much okay, and that was the small Harry Potter pint jar, I think it was. I made a video about making that jar. It was like Harry Potter makes a half-pint jar or a 1-pint jar or something like that. That was that jar from that video, and that was one of my favorite like small jar bottle shapes that I made. So I was really proud of that piece, and it looked like that kind of came out for the most part with just a little bit of rim damage, Melissa. But I was happy that that one at least survived. But basically, I got some good bottles, some good shapes, I think, that are going to come out really nice from the glaze. So I'm not going to try to talk them up like, oh, it's going to be the greatest thing ever, because I don't really know how it's going to come out. It's my first glazing, and obviously I'm just an amateur. But not sure how my glaze is going to come out, so I don't want to talk them up and say, oh, I'm just going to be selling everything and whatever. No, definitely not going to be the case. I'm going to be keeping some. I'm going to gift probably most of them to friends and family. There's probably a queue. And I need to get some to my sister-in-law, who is going to do hopefully some really cool things with them as well. And but my point is I think there's going to be a few nice pieces laying around. So we'll see. And if they're nice enough to show, I will show them on the channel here in about within the next week. I think they'll be done within a week. So 4 or 5 days, hopefully 3 days maybe. Tomorrow, who knows? But as soon as they're here, I'll post some pictures on the channel. Let me check the chat. It's just me and Melissa up in here. Okay, there's 5 of us up in here. Thanks for stopping by the stream, guys. Thanks even more if you thumb it up. But we're here for 35 minutes so far. We're going to keep on going, and we're reading all the chat. I see you, Katie. They'll turn out good, especially since the kids glazed them. They glazed a lot of them. They glazed a lot of them. Those kids sure did. My kids, I had all of the kids out here, including a couple of the nephews. And niece, no, a niece, a single niece. But I had all of our kids out here on the pottery wheel a couple days ago. And then some extra time with my son that was really fun. And he learned a lot. And I helped him make a pretty cool bowl. I'll show it to you. It's right over here. Got 2 bowls over here. One of them Ethan helped me make. It's pretty cool. So right now I'm just at a cylinder. Let's get back into the work, sorry. And we're going to pull some walls up vertically. Try not to lose our wobble as we do it. Try not to get a wobble as we do it. But yeah, that's what I've been up to, Melissa. Sorry about the shipping and handling issue. But aside from that, I've been working on houses, being a little lazy. On top of that, what I've also been was sober from cannabis for 35 days for the second time in 13, 14 years, okay? A daily consumer. And I did 30 days, maybe a few months back, and then I did 35 days throughout the whole previous month. And then at the beginning of this month, I got a little bit of medically prescribed, of course, fully legal herbal medicine, okay? And I tell you what, as soon as I started smoking again, whatever, taking my medicine, let's call it taking my medicine, because I don't want to support a certain culture of whatever. Wow. Euphoria. Instantly. Just like the last month-long break I took, 30 days, the second I smoke again, instant happiness, euphoria in my mood. Big, huge positive upswing. And when I say huge positive upswing, what I mean to say very clearly is, you want to see Super Dad? Let me smoke a bowl. Let me smoke a bowl. I will sit here and teach ABCs, and we will write and draw and work on our letters. And I've got my kids there. It's summertime now, right? So they're not out of school. They're in daddy's school. And the biggest part of why I haven't been on YouTube in much in the last 2 weeks is because I have been making a deliberate effort to spend more time with my kids. That's the most important thing. So I mean to cut a couple of promos out of this live stream. One of them is about spending more time with your kids. Talk to your kids, people. They want you to talk to them. You don't have anything to talk with them about, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Talk to them about anything. Keep talking to them. Use the correct words and explain to them the difference in the words. Do you see why I used this word like this? Do you know what this word means? That's how conversation oftentimes gets going. And that's called daddy's school. And teaching young humans how to be respectful older humans that are able to absorb knowledge like an absolute sponge. End promo 1. But my point is, come up the stream if you thought that was insightful or maybe even inspiring. Hold your children more. Talk to them more. even if it's just about words and how to use them better. Oftentimes that's really the advice that they need, especially young kids, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like my kids are, all 3 of them. One with autism who's 6, just graduated kindergarten. Super proud of that girl. My 6-year-old with autism, and I can't take all the credit, she'll sit there and write every letter of the alphabet on request. Now, is her handwriting amazing? No, but we're working on it. We're working on it. But let me put some Delta ass on this clay. Barbaric style, alright? Anyway, talk to your kids. I've been talking to my kids so much, and it makes me realize, man, I don't make enough time for my kids. Don't be selfish with your time, because at the end of the day, time is all you got. YouTube for me can't be a dream, it can only be a hobby. And if it can't be successful as a hobby, YouTube doesn't need to be here. And when I say successful, I don't mean monetarily. I mean successful in that it remains a hobby, not any further time commitment than that. But I have to make sure to keep better priorities for the things that need to get done over hobbies. Because I'll be on a pottery kick for a month straight and that's all I want to do with my free time. But then that's time I could have been talking with my children or whatever. Who knows? I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. I'm not trying to tell you I'm perfect. What I'm trying to say is I've been a better me. I've been a much better me that I needed to be lately. So hopefully those words resonate with anybody that ever hears this. Let me know in chat. Let me know in chat. How many do we have up in here? I don't even know. Don't even know. Just talking. Just talking if anybody's listening. Melissa, I really appreciate all your support. You've been, for pottery, my absolute inspiration to do better. Not my inspiration to do pottery, but to do it better. Is my audio coming through okay? Could you let me know in chat, anybody, if the sound sounds okay? Can you guys hear my voice okay? Is it carrying through the microphone well? Can you hear me good? Let's see here. What's going on? Yes, sound is loud and clear. Thanks, honey. I appreciate that. You, Mama, have a very beautiful family. Definitely want to be proud of. My hubby and family are my life's greatest accomplishment and joy. Well said, Melissa. Well said, Melissa. Round of applause for that. That's a nugget. Her family is her life's accomplishment. My family is my life's accomplishment, but I am far from finished. I'm finished making the family. Now it's time for Daddy to teach the family and be the best daddy he can be for Daddy's family. Okay? But anyway, Melissa, I'm going to have some pieces that are glazed. And if they come out nice, I'm going to text you some pictures in 4, 5, 6, 7 days, it should be. And you let me know if there's anything that you like. Hopefully it's something. I'm hoping they come out nice. We'll see. You know, something else I've been thinking about doing is hiring a potter for an hour. Now, when I say potter, I mean me. So I mean an amateur that takes his shirt off to do it like an absolute amateur instead of wearing an apron. And when I say potter, I mean an absolute amateur like me, okay? But like, would it be cool to like sell a service or provide a service that was like, hire me for an hour, tell me what you want me to make, and you can sit here and watch me do it, and tell me what you would like, how you'd like to proceed throughout the process, and we could try to make something. Or you could also keep it simple and maybe be like, what do you want? A few bowls? We can make a few bowls. Let's see what we can make real quick, real nice and neat and whatever. Or we'd be like, let's make something magnificent and see what happens, right? Would that be cool? Because I think it'd be kind of cool. And I think it wouldn't be like very expensive. I think honestly clay is very cheap, very cheap. It's the firing, the glazing, the refiring, that all adds up really quick. The clay is pretty cheap. Like, this was a 3-pound throw of that sand B-mix. I think that was maybe $2.50 of clay. $2.50. This throw right here is $2.50 of clay. So the clay is not like, I wouldn't call it expensive, right? But it's definitely a factor. I'm trying to get better with my rib. You want to see some cool rib stuff? That was going to be another promo I was going to cut. I'm getting better with my rib. I'm getting better with my rib. Chapter marker. I'm getting better with my rib. Watch this. Let me see if I can make this thing taller and with intent and purpose. Let's see it. Okay, let's see it. It's blue. Try to even this collar out. This is rough. I like this thick lump up top. Okay. Easy peasy. Moving up the outside. Pressing from the inside, just smoothing out walls. Nothing crazy. Okay, easy. Easy, easy, easy. I'm getting better with my tools. Specifically this flexible metal rib and this wooden triangular tooth? Fang shaped rib? I don't know what you call this. But from one artist to another, I'm getting better at using it. Now, check this out. Watch this. I take my rib and I put the flat side down here at the bottom like this, and I tilt that flat side in like this, or I just hold it stable and I push the interior wall to it, and then I pull my hand up and that thins out the wall and pulls the whole pot up. So let's see if I can do it. I've told you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull with this rib in my right hand, and how I'm going to hold it. Let's see in the chat what's going on before we do it. We got 8 people in the stream. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. That's wonderful. The world needs this. Far more daddies to be daddies again. Yes, they do, Melissa. That's my biggest message of the day to anybody that listens to me say anything. The world needs more daddies to be daddies. Everybody wants to call themselves a daddy. Nobody wants to put in the work. But around this house, daddy is their teacher. You understand me? Daddy is their teacher. And when daddy talks, you better be listening. Ask me any question you want, right? But daddy is your teacher. And when daddy talks, you better be listening. And that's how daddy's school goes every day. Pulling up from the inside. Holding my rib stable. Nice smooth even cylinder. Nice smooth even cylinder. Now, adding some lube. Now what I need to do is I need to drag the rib up as I do it to the top. And I need to not let it lean out or anything like that. And by the way, I was getting really good pulling walls with this side of the rib too. Just not really good. I mean, I did it a couple times and I was like, that was really cool. But pulling with the rib like this and just sliding it up. But we're trying to use the bigger side of our fang rib here because I know I can make cool looking vases and pots and jars and cylinders, but what I need to do is have better control of my material, have better control of my clay. Make more even and consistent walls. Make my pots taller, like this. You see? Not bad. Not bad, not bad, not bad. For a 40-year-old dad. And we're going to go with a rim compression here. I think it's more appropriate to hold it like this to do it. You want to, I think, slant the wall up after you do the vertical drag. So I'm going to vertical drag here, and I'm going to pinch here after the vertical drag. And see the shape that it gets. And I think that's a more proper rim compression. But not too much, not too much, not too much. Okay? I think, I don't know, but maybe I saw that somewhere. Maybe that's just something I do. I don't know. Who knows? I'm an amateur. But I think what would be cool is to say, like, for $50, we could come here and you could hire a potter for an hour and be like, let's make 3, 4 things, 2, 3, 4 things as cool as we can for an hour and see what we could come up with. I think you can make some pretty cool stuff. Together, you might be surprised what you could come up with. Keep in mind, this isn't me trying to showcase my speed. I think when you are working for somebody with the intent to provide a service, there is a certain expectation to provide a quality product quickly, especially if it's based on time. I think that is maybe the most important resource any of us have is time. You understand? And that's what I'm trying to teach to my children, is everybody's time is valuable, especially if somebody's hiring you to do something, especially, okay? Then your time is valuable as the worker, especially, but also your time is valuable as the client, the customer. Your money is valuable, and it represents your time. Right? Am I right? I don't know. But I can work pretty fast. I can make bowls in 5 minutes. I can be pretty successful with them. Are they going to be perfect? No. Are they going to be huge? No. I can make bigger bowls. Takes a little more time. Takes a little more clay, a little more product, but I can make bigger bowls. But I can make some pretty cool stuff. This is like kind of an interesting shape, but what I would like to do is draw it up a little taller and maybe give it more of a vase throw. I should hold my hands this way. Maybe give it more of a vase throw. I don't know. You know what I think is really pretty, Melissa? Is when you take the vase down here at the bottom and you keep it skinny, like 3 inches at the bottom across, maybe 4, no more than 4, and then you flare it out just a little bit in the middle, and then you bring it back into about a 3 or a 4 at the top, but you give it a lot of height. That's the shape I've been aiming for, Melissa. And let me check the chat real quick. Anybody else up in here? Heck yeah, we got 10 people up in this live stream. Let me catch up. So, what are you looking forward to most this season of life? What am I looking forward to most this season of life? Is that what my wife is asking me? Or was that directed to Melissa? Let me answer that first, Melissa, while you answer in chat. What I'm looking most forward to in this season of life is getting all of my checks marked, crossed, all my boxes crossed, all my checklist done. That's what I'm looking forward to most this season in life. I think I'm in a pretty good spot, and I'm very grateful where I'm at. But there's things to do, there's things to do, there's things to do. And prioritizing things better is what I know I've already done. Because I think we all kind of get a wandering head sometimes, and we all have selfish tendencies a lot of times. And it's really easy for a guy like me in my situation to want to play video games and waste a lot of time. when there's so much better things to be doing with your time, okay? So I love being a father, and I am an amazing teacher. Not necessarily at pottery, because I'm not a master, but I'm just an amazing teacher at life in general. And I worked about 17, 18 years as an electrician. The first several years, to be very specific, the first 4.5 years I spent as an apprentice electrician. I went to school 1 day a week for multiple years, for 6 hours a week, all year round, no summer. And then I went to school my last year twice a week for 3.5 hours each day. After a 10, 12-hour day at work, it sucked. But I got my journeyman's license from the state of Colorado. That's where we were at with my wife's military station, Colorado Springs, stationed at the Air Force Academy. And we lived right next to the Air Force Falcons football stadium for 7 years. It was an amazing 7 years of our lives. We loved Colorado so much. And Colorado was very good to us. I did my electrician schooling out there with the IBEW, the International Brotherhood of Electricians. This is the union, IBEW, the Electricians Union, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. And I literally owe everything to them as far as my trade and as far as what they allowed these hands and my brain as a student to learn from professionals and experts. And I took in all of that, and I was very gracious for how I was treated as an apprentice and taught everything I needed to know, even oftentimes by people that, we forgot the war paint, oftentimes by people that didn't even like me. They were still like, yeah, I'll still teach you whatever you need to know as it comes up at work, right? Shout out Melissa for letting me forget the war paint. So, as a journeyman electrician, you see, I did my apprenticeship very young. And so when I journeyed out and I took my state exam, I was also the second electrician in my class of 19 graduates to get my state license. I passed my state exam. And I was the second one in my graduating class to do it, about a month before another guy, which is fine, it wasn't a race. But I did my test, passed it first try. I believe he took it twice. Who knows? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, but the point is, I passed mine first try, my state exam in Colorado, which is very difficult, by the way. So shout out all you Colorado electricians. The Colorado electricians have the second or third, they say, hardest state licensing exam in the country. And they say that it's because how Colorado scores each category of your professional licensing exam. As an electrician, there's maybe 15 categories, and you have a 100-question test to do in 4 hours. You could get 3 questions in one category, and you could miss one. And that gives you a 67% in that category. And you need a 70 in every category to pass. Not a 70 overall on the test. You need a 70 in every 15 categories, whatever it is, 12, 13, 15 categories to pass. And they say because of how Colorado demands their grading like that, that's why Colorado's is the hardest test to pass. Because sometimes you get 3 motor control questions, sometimes you get 3 overcurrent questions, sometimes you get 2 of this, 1 of that. You better not miss them in Colorado. So anyway, I did my school out there in Colorado, passed my test first try, because I'm an awesome electrician. I don't know if you know that or not. But 9 out of 10 tradesmen, I think, just in general, 9 out of 10 are very average, and I think 10% are very talented, very knowledgeable, very good. I started when I was very young. My apprenticeship, I walked in the door at 20 years old, turned 21 shortly after I started school. I did school for 4.5 years. I got my journeyman's license right after my 25th birthday. So for perspective, almost my entire career as an electrician, my apprentices were older than me. Literally 90% of the time. 9 out of 10 of my apprentices were older than me. So that's always a fun dynamic to have to negotiate at work. You think you're going to bullshit a guy who's been around the block? No, you're not. So you better be able to know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And I like to think that I'm probably very much a part of that 10% of tradesmen that gets their craft very good because they apply themselves very hard. Not because they're smarter than, but because they try harder than. I am a try hard at everything I do, trust me. I'm going to try hard at this vase right now. I'm just going slow because I'm having fun talking, okay? But I can whip this out in 10 minutes. I could get to this point in 5 to 10 minutes. That's no problem for me if I'm trying. Right now I'm trying to talk, okay? Tell you a little bit about me because I think that's what people want to see. They want to hear about me. They want to hear about my life, more about who I am, what I believe, what makes me, me. And I don't think that me playing video games and bullshitting with the dudes is a good representation of who I am, but it's a very good it's a very good indication of what I like to do in my free time. And I think I started off this conversation with saying that we have to manage my free time better because I am daddy first and foremost. I am husband second most. I am a YouTuber very, very last. Why is that? Well, YouTube's fun. I have fun with it. But it doesn't provide me anything. YouTube does nothing for me. It provides me an opportunity to showcase my personality, but to what end do I want to showcase my personality, okay? I don't think anybody's interested in my politics. That's okay. A lot of people just aren't interested in politics, and that's also okay. But I believe that man is a political animal, and the second that he stops caring about politics is the second he gives up on his own awareness of what's going on around him in the day-to-day. And I think that's the mark of a fool, okay? To speak very clearly, that's what I think. I think that's the mark of a fool. Oh, it's just politics. I don't care about politics. I don't want to talk politics. Why are you still talking politics? Man's a political animal. And anybody that says that they don't care about politics is an absolute fool that gave up their own awareness in what is going on around them every single day. Anybody want to talk about that? Let me know in chat. I'm here to read it. Let me check it. We got 8 people in here. Do we have 8 thumbs up? No. Okay. For me, it's enjoying the peace I finally found, thanks to my hubby, and watching my grandbabies blossom into who they are meant to become. Okay. I like that. Wait, was there more? I'm sorry, I better check that again. Looks like there was more. Back in 2006, I graduated from school as a medical assistant. I was pretty proud of myself because I graduated with straight A's while raising 5 kids on my own. But I was made to let that go. That sounds like a huge loss to let go of, that education and that work opportunity. And my wife is feeling that same pressure right now. You guys could talk about that. My wife is applying for a job right now. She's going on her second interview next week. Just because, we don't have a lot of money, and things are always breaking because we own multiple properties, and we've owned them multiple years now, all of them. The beach house, the least, and we've had it for a year and a half. Yeah, things are breaking, and it's just what it is, but she's trying to look at getting like a part-time job, nothing crazy. I think she's going to get 6 days a month is what their situation's going to be. Look at this beautiful vase pull. Shout out. Shout out Harry Potter. Okay, I see you over here. So my wife's applying for a job right now. It's not a full-time, it's not even technically a part-time, it's just a per diem position at the hospital. She's an RN, registered nurse, but she works in surgery. What that means is she's not like bedside, etc. She's working with surgeons, doing surgery and charting, etc. She could tell you more about it than me. Okay. But that's what she's doing. And she is getting her second interview next week? Next Wednesday. Wednesday this coming Wednesday. So good luck to her, honey, if you're still listening. Good luck to you on that interview next week. Hope you get it. But me, I'm still the deadbeat stay-at-home father. Okay? But make no mistake about it, me, I am a master electrician. And what I mean by that is anything can be broken, I can fix it. Anything. Not, say, fried circuit boards. Blown electronics is where you draw the line. But if it's electrical parts and components and pieces and troubleshooting, I can fix anything. I'm very talented. And my job for many, many years, 12 years, the last 12 years was to be a high voltage electrician for the power company in Sacramento for almost 3 years, and then about 8 years at the Department of Water Resources for the state of California. And in those 12 years almost of high voltage electricity journeyman experience and work, I developed my skills even further, which my troubleshooting skills were already very high. But now, with that under my belt, working utility for the last 12 years, state water project, largest municipal-owned utility company in the country, SMUD, Sacramento, working for those two civil servant employers, I honed my electrical skills even further. And the things that I learned while I was there would blow your mind. I'm going to try to pull this a little higher, get a little more bass shape to it. And it gets to a point where it's like it can be like any industrial machine, generator system, pump, whatever, giant electric motor, high voltage, giant electric pump motors that move billions of gallons of water through a plant in a day. It can be whatever. And I can, electrically, if something's broken, I can pinpoint what it is and know how to fix it. It's the skills I've developed over time. Baby girl? Yes, ma'am. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Oh, she went back inside. That was my 6-year-old with autism. Love that baby girl. We've been working on her words a lot lately so that she talks better. She did not talk until she was 4. She's now 6. She's graduated kindergarten. Very smart, very smart. Knows all her letters, knows like pattern recognition, shapes. Oh, so smart, knows so many words, uses almost none of them. So we're just trying to talk. We're trying to talk. And talk to your children every day. Talk to your children every day. See if I can put this metal rib on here. Okay. Okay. I'll do a little bit of cool stuff. Kind of smoothed out that shape a little bit, but I think I want this wooden one. I think I want this wooden one for what I'm trying to do. How are we doing? Let me know in chat. How's this throw going? This is the first one. I'm going to get going on this clay. Right now I'm bullshitting. Sorry. I'm gonna get going on this clay eventually. That lip is way too tall. We need to get more height in the mid, right here. Let's try to pull this up a little bit, but let it stretch out. And then we'll try to turn it in with a more conservative lip shape to it. Woo! Look at me pot! Look at me pot! B-mix sand is the clay body. We are working with B-mix sand. Not bad. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Are we done? Are we done? Or should we do a little bit more? Let me know in the comments. This was the last of the B-mix sand. This was my first throw. This was my practice. This was my throwaway. But I think I need to trim the lip. But this was my practice. This was my throwaway. And I think we actually kind of made something kind of cool with it. So let's see. Can we even out this lip? You know, I watch those pottery videos, Melissa, online on YouTube, try to learn some technique and stuff. I'm sure you do. And the Russian guy, by the way, that breaks stuff, yes, that is exactly the guy I was talking about, Melissa. That guy will blow your mind. I don't know how you say his name, Vitaly or whatever. Whatever it is, that dude, man, he's a master. He'll blow your mind if anybody goes out there and watches his channel. That guy. It's not just the speed with which that he does it, but it's like the precision. It's the accuracy that he does it. It's incredible to watch. Okay, so right now I'm thinking, do we go skinnier at the middle of the neck here? Do we collar that in a little bit more, or do we like that shape? Let me know in chat. I'm checking it here in about 20 seconds. Do we want to try to collar this in thinner, more narrower, or do we like that shape of that vase right here? Let me know. I'm going to catch up on the chat. We got 3 people. Hey, what's up, 3 people? Love the shape. He's been doing it for quite a few years, though. Okay, now I focus on my artwork. It's amazing creating new things, and I love that others love what I make as well. He's been doing it for quite a few years now. I love this shape. Okay, it was a great loss for me. I put in a lot of hard work to get that degree. Now, ex-customers forced me to walk away from it. My hubby now is my angel, though, my hero. He supports me every choice. Now I focus on my artwork. It's amazing. Creating new things, and I love that others love what I make as well. Sorry, I'm a slow reader right now. I'm not that smart. Love the shape. He's been doing it for quite a few years, though. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Great stuff in the chat, Melissa. Appreciate you. So, if I'm understanding you, Melissa, you love the shape. You don't think we should narrow the throat. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Can we try this? Can I try to maybe comb this into a hard triangle right here, and we'll see maybe if we can give it just a more unique type of a shape to it. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the collar. Very slow. Rim compressions while doing this. Not digging in the heel right here beyond what can't be smoothed out. Not bad. I think the fingers still give the most precision. So I'm gonna find a little touch there on the rim, always with my finger. Now, okay, so something else I learned when I said earlier in the stream, Melissa and whoever else is watching, 4, 5, 10 people, who knows, what I learned is how to get better with my tools. So this rib, the fang wooden rib, is what I've been using for pulling vertical and shaping side base walls or cylinder walls. That's what I'm using this for. This metal stainless oval rib is what I'm using to put the finishing layer on before I set it to dry. And I think, I don't know, but I think maybe that technique is kind of what separates a novice from an intermediate, is learning how to get as many imperfections as you can out with your tools during the throwing process, which is definitely a weakness for me. So it's something that I need to work on. So what did I tell myself yesterday, the day before when I was teaching the kids? I was out here working on my technique. Check this out. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you with the camera. Give me a second. Let me wipe my hands. Where's the rag? Okay. So first of all, we're dealing with B-mix sand. Look at that texture. Do you see the texture in this pot? Do you see that sand texture? Do you see that? The grittiness of it. This literally looks like sandpaper. Interesting, right? But if we take that metal rib, again, and I don't know, I look super cool, by the way. I don't know, but I think if we take that metal stainless rib right here, I think what that's going to allow us to do is just give it a nice polished little finish to the surface. And again, I say that because I believe that's what's going to separate like a beginner novice potter like myself from a more intermediate level potter. And it's going to make it to where there's less trimming to do, because we're going to get a lot of the imbalancing and imperfections on the surface out with this little polishing tool. Okay, now look, I don't know anything about anything. So I'll always start with that. And at the least, what you're looking at is a middle-aged man drinking a non-alcoholic full-weight beverage. I don't know anything about anything, but let's see if I can get some of the polish on that sandy texture using this tool. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to get the pot walls nice and lubricated. Okay, nothing too crazy here. I'm not trying to alter the shape. Okay. Now we grab our metal rib and we give it a little bit of flex like that, and we use this as the scraping surface, and we're going to drag that up nice and smoothly to a sharp stopping line at the outermost point of that vase. So it starts off here, and we're smoothing it out just like polishing concrete. Is basically what we just did right there. Polished the concrete, okay? If you've ever worked labor jobs like I have over the course of a 40-year-old life, if you've ever done work with your hands, if you've ever worked with, say, concrete or troughed on some grout somewhere, that's what that is doing, is smoothing off that finished layer up top, okay? So now we're going to try to do the same thing up on this collar. And now we're going to redefine this. I'll redefine that. Okay. And I think we're good right there. I think that was about as perfect from the collar down as we can get before we trim. And it's looking pretty smooth. It's looking pretty balanced. I'm going to try to do the upper outside of the lip. Try to get some of that wobble that you see right there. See that wobble? Try to get that wobble out a little bit. And then I'm also going to, while doing that, polish the underside of the exterior lip. And then I'm going to do the inside. And then there's one last step, and I'll show you when I'm done. But it's a brand new tool for me. I've never used it before. It's been waiting quite literally for this moment its whole life in my possession. So got a little wobble. Let's see if a little inside pressure will get it out. Okay. How are we looking? I think we're looking like we made a beautiful vase, y'all. Let's clean it up a little bit. Just a little bit. I want to overdo the polish and finish I just did. Just want to touch up the imperfections just a little with the tip of my wet finger. Okay? Doesn't feel too bad. I see a slight wobble in the rim. Do a little pinch and push. And holding my hands very, very steady. Swab this inside of the neck, just like that. Okay, there's a lot of water in the bottom, so we're gonna go in for it. Got it all. Got it all. Okay, one last polish over the center there. Okay. I think we're good here. Let's see how we did. Checking the chat while we do this reveal. Let me know, how'd we do? So you're looking at a 12-inch wide plate. So from here to here, 12 inches wide. So you can see the size of this on that plate tells me that's about 9 to 10 inches tall, roughly. Something like that. That's the inside of her right there, boys and girls. That is what she looks like. Nice, fat, but thin, 1/4 inch maintained lip and wall all throughout. Let me know what we think. 1 to 10 in the chat. Give me a number. Don't be overly dramatic. Don't say 10. Don't say 10. But how'd we do? 1 to 10. Let me know in the chat, guys. I'm going to get another wheel and throw set up right now. Crushing beers, crushing beers, crushing beers. That's what we do. Crush beers. Try not to crush too many. It's Sunday. UFC 250's coming on today. I'm super stoked. I'm a huge fight fan. Huge fight fan. Melissa, you don't know this about me. Something about me? You want to know a little bit about me? Check this out. That tattoo, this is USA Wrestling tattoo. And you'll see that on a lot of the UFC fighters. And I did not get that tattoo to try to look tough, act tough, or be tough, or pretend that I'm a UFC fighter. Certainly not. I am not a fighter. I am a lover and an artist. Okay? Anyway, I'm a huge fight fan. Love wrestling, like collegiate wrestling, not like WWF, WWE wrestling. Like real, like NCAA freestyle or Greco. Love that stuff. But I'm a huge boxing fan, and I'm a huge UFC fan. And I happen to know a pro boxer that lives locally here in Houston. Don't need to go name drop my friends or anything like that. I don't try to do that. But there's a couple of twins out of Houston that fight boxing. They're really good, undefeated. Well, one has one loss to Canelo. But he's got a twin brother that's undefeated. I know that dude. He's an awesome, awesome dude. Met him on the internet many, many years ago. It's from Houston, Texas. And I am about 3 hours away from Houston. So it's just a friend of mine. And I love the fights. I try not to miss the big boxing fights. I try not to miss the UFC fights. I just love competition. I love football. I love the fights the most. Then I love football. But more than anything, I love competition. Because games always make sense. What are the rules? I love competition. Like, I play to win. You know what I mean? Let me get some clay. So, first time in a long time, this box right here, I'm going to open it up right now. First time in a long time I've gone back to just regular B-mix. It's been probably 2 to 3 weeks since I've used any regular B-mix, and the reason is I've been on that B-mix sand. I just did 25 pounds of B-mix sand most recently. But here, it's regular B-mix. B-E-E mix, okay? And the reason I'm showing you this is because apparently this is what is the closest thing to ceramic without being ceramic. B-mix. And it is muddy. The B-mix is muddy, okay? And I'm about to tear into this B-mix. We just got off the B-mix with clay, but I need 60 seconds. I will be right back, guys. Maybe you could hit me up with any questions in chat. I will check the chat as soon as I get back. All right, I'm back. We are back. You want to see something incredibly sad? I'm going to show you. This is my favorite pair of slippers. Do you see them right here? Literally hanging by one thread. Do you see that? My slippers are literally hanging by one thread. But we're still rocking. We still rolling, baby. We be in these streets, all right? So, we just talked about the B-mix. I just broke it out. Real quick. Quick war story. This right here This is my work area. This is what it looks like from my perspective. Okay, and we just put belt to ass right here. That's funny. Sorry. This I know. I look ridiculous right now, but trust me when I say, look, right here, this is where we put belt to ass, okay? This is a collection of some that didn't survive the trimming wheel. Nice little vase here. B-Mix. We made this on a live stream. Yep, didn't survive the trimming wheel. Melissa's original vase became a cup and tool holder for my wooden ribs. This was supposed to go to her on live stream, then I broke it on the trimming wheel. Sorry about that. This one, B-Mix, broke it on the trimming wheel. This was a nice tall vase with a nice tall lip. Came out here. Nice, beautiful vase. We made this on live stream. Broke on the trimming wheel. So now they hold tools and they will never be fired. This is a plastic cup. It's got a plastic handle. It holds water. It holds water quite effectively, okay? This one here. This is fired, and this was a coffee cup I was making, and I wanted to make it not too thick. Not too thick, not too thick. I was trying to make it thin-walled to where it would burn your hand if you grabbed it like I'm holding it. But I put a handle on it, and I was going to make it a nice big wide handle, and the handle snapped off. But I like the shape of the cylinder, so I was like, you know, I'll just keep it and fire it. But now it is just a tool holder. So again, hi. This is what it looks like from my perspective. Okay, this is what we're dealing with. And that's my treadmill slash tool holder. It's my garbage can slash... You know what? Let me show you these bowls I made with the kids. Okay, first of all, me and Ethan made this one. Check this out. Nice little bowl he made. He put a lot of the shape into this. That's why it is not perfect, okay? But it's a beautiful little bowl that Ethan and me made together. And then Daddy made this one. Look at this beast. Just kind of a V shape. The walls nice and straight. Did that with the wooden rib. But look at the size of this thing. Like, I have big hands. And this thing's at least 7 inches wide on the interior wall. So I think it's a very nice sized bowl. But anyway, we're going to get into this B-Mix. I'll let you guys watch me cut a slab of it off, and then I'll shift the camera over, and we'll get it rocking and rolling on the wheel. This is going to be throw number 2. We've already been live for an hour and a half. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I got time for you guys today, right now. So let's get into it. Let's do some more throws. There we go. Told you I'd listen. You'll watch me slice the clay. There you go. I gotta find my tool. I feel like it was over here somewhere. Maybe. Maybe not. There it is. There you are. Okay, so how much clay are we going for? We're going for small stuff like a coffee cup. That'd be like a pound. Maybe a little bit larger bowl, maybe 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds, or more, depending on how large of a bowl. I'm going to cut off what I think is going to be about 3 pounds. I think that's going to be about 3 pounds. Honestly, maybe 3 pounds. It's close. 3 pounds. Last throw of the B-Mix sand, we cut off about 3.5. So this B-Mix regular, 3. About 3 pounds. Okay? So, we're going to make a nice ball out of this. Try to make sure there's no air pockets in the folds. And we're going to knead it together. And we're going to throw it on the wheel right here. Let's go. Let me give a thumbs up, fam. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. This is throw number 2. We're going to do at least 3. But I need to be more focused on the clay. Because I'll get to talking about life and the philosophical meaning of it. And it can get retarded. Is that word okay to use? I heard it was okay to use. I don't know. Heard it's making a comeback. Okay. Water, sponge, water, sponge. Then we're compressing down We're stabilizing the side and we're compressing down. This is centering. Okay? Stabilize the side, pressure down from the top. But it's all the shape that you're making. You need to make a shape conducive to the clay molding into, which is a downward V type of a shape. Okay? You can do other shapes, sure, but downward V shape's a good place to start. Now here, we'll start a central depression. We're dragging on the palm a little bit. I'll try to stabilize that a little better. Over the top grip with the thumb, stabilizing the interior wall and the exterior wall, top pressure down. There we go. Allowing the clay to expand outward, right here and right here at the bottom. But we're trying to uniform the center, okay? So I learned something about B-mix the other day when I dropped our glaze batch off for fire. I learned that B-mix is the closest thing to ceramics without doing ceramics. So I says, when do I start dabbling into ceramics? Everybody talks about these ceramics. When should I start dabbling in ceramics? I never tried. And he says, you never tried? And I said, I never tried. I'm a beginner. And he says, well, what have you been using? And I said, B-mix. And then I did some B-mix sand. It's okay. I think I like regular B-mix better. But the B-mix sand is what I've been using. And he says, okay. Well, B-mix is basically a ceramic. It's the closest thing you can be to a ceramic without being a ceramic. So I don't know what it means to be ceramic per se, what the definition by the artists is, but I would be curious to know if anybody has the answer, okay? But I was told the other day that B-mix, which I love and I think works very nice and easily, is the closest thing to ceramics without being an actual ceramic. So my question then becomes, what is a ceramic? I'm not that smart. I don't know. I need to read more. Somebody's at the door. Got some imperfections here on the inside. We're going to try to work these out. Okay, and let's check the chat. I haven't checked the chat in a hot minute. Let's check it out. What's going on? Thumb up the stream if you could. If you haven't already, please do so. It's been quite a few years though. It's far better than I could do. So I gotta go for a bit, but I'll watch the replay for sure. You have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much, Melissa. Thank you so much, Melissa. Thanks for letting me know that you're not here anymore. I'll stop having our private conversations between me and Melissa. Melissa is my #1 fan / biggest supporter right now. I appreciate her very much. But if you're just joining us, the message for today is be a better you tomorrow. Be a better you tomorrow, that's all. It ain't be a better person like me. It's be a better you tomorrow. That's all. Nothing crazy. It's nothing egotistical. It's nothing to say anything about you. It is simply to say everybody should have the mentality to be a better them tomorrow, because I believe something in life. If you are not living your life present in the moment and growing and learning every day, you have began the process of dying. If that resonates with anybody, we could talk about it. Let me know in chat. I'm here to talk. I usually do my pottery streams with background Celtic music that's just blasting really loud, and it helps me just kind of lock in on the art with the ancestors. But today's stream's a little bit different. I'm trying to be available to talk, okay? But conversations typically need to be two-way streets, right? I can sit here and talk to a camera, it's no problem. It's a skill that I have. Am I the best at it? No. But it's a skill that I have. I can sit here and talk to myself. I can talk to a camera by myself. But I would prefer not to, because conversations are better had between people. I think so. So let me know in chat what's going on. What are we doing? Where are we tuning in from? I'm live San Antonio. Texas is in the house. Shout out Texas. Love Texas. Great state of Texas. I think it's time to wooden rib pull these walls. I think is where we're at. I'll do this again on the bottom. Okay, that was a horrible, horrible release. Horrendous lip release. You see that? Ugh. That's the kind of stuff that'll keep me up at night, if I'm being honest. Now I'm trying to fix it. Okay. That was a beautiful shape. Just want to widen out the bottom now. See if we can sweep this into a larger bowl. We're going to keep sweeping this out into a larger bowl. But what I do want to do is I'd love to keep as much of the height as I can. So I already know I got to bring more clamp from the bottom. So I'll do a little bit of that right now. Followed by a lip compression. Booyah, booyah. Booyah, booyah, booyah. How we do? How we do? How we do? We got close. We got close. We did not get there. Okay. How's that look? How's that look? Let me catch up on the chat. Do a quick rim compression. Nothing crazy. Okay. And let me catch up on this chat. Let's see. We got this thing rocking. Yeah, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. All right, we got 4 people up in here. We've been going for an hour 45. Whoo, we're cooking. We're cooking. I love this bowl. My wife would love this bowl. But I have a decision to make now. I could keep this nice V bowl, or I could slope it into a round bowl. What do you guys think? Right now, I'm going to try to even out this wall on the inside. Okay. Now we're going to work out the impurities in the bottom. How do we do? I see a little impurity in the bottom of our, it looks like a hair, like a 1/4 inch long hair. Yeah, what are you? Get you out there. Gotcha. It's thicker than a hair, whatever it was, thicker than a hair. Piece of little twig or something, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows these things? But we got it out. So now, could I keep my strength from my base to round this bowl off is the question. Maybe that was just a little bit. I don't know how we did. Let me see how we did here. So here's the thing with bowls and rounding them out. Right now, I'm at a very critical stage. And what that critical stage is getting this vertical lip to not slant out like a V, but to round up towards more of a traditional bowl. Why you do that is for sloshing. The straighter the edge is, the easier it is to slosh and spill a soup or a liquid. So what I want to do here is I now want to get this exterior lip of my bowl higher. But did you see what I just did there? Higher. It's easy to grab the bowl from the outside here and be like, oh, let me just fold it up, fold it up, fold it up. Yeah, sounds easy, but that's where you'll break it every time, okay? So first of all, when you grab it from the bottom, the clay walls want to be pulled down because that's where the drag is on the surface of the clay, is down here on your hands, which pulls the clay naturally down. And your bowl becomes a dinner plate. Does that make sense to the crowd? Does that make sense to anybody watching? Let me know. So, there's a couple things we can do to minimize the downward drag. We can wet our hands if we do grab it here, but also no, very small adjustments and very even adjustments and very slow wheel spins is maybe what I've learned to be the most important. But we can't support this bowl vertically. But then we got to do a nice, soft and even let go. of this bowl as well, just like this. How did we do? I think we did pretty decent. So we're going to try to clean this up with a metal rib and try to just add a little polish in it. A little better finish on the rim. Just dropped it. And a little better polish on the exterior, which is going to be difficult at these angles. I ain't gonna lie. Maybe, maybe not. But that definitely gave me more of a wobble than I had. So I'm going to try to get that out really quick. Not too much drag. Nice, even, upward dragging roots. Something like that. Okay. So nice and smooth bottom smoothing process. There we go. That's a big bowl. That is a very big bowl. I'm looking at this 12-inch plate that this bowl is on. I'm seeing about 1.5 inches on either side, which would mean this is about a 9-inch internally. Checks out, 9 inches. That's about a 9-inch internally wall-to-wall bowl. How do we do, guys? Could we get a thumbs up on the stream? Could we get a thumbs up on the stream? Big, giant bowl. Nothing crazy. Just a nice, smooth bowl. And we'll get that trimmed up and make it look beautiful. Let's get another one going. I think my wife is really gonna like that one. She has been asking me for like a large bowl, like a salad bowl, fruit bowl style. And I told her, yeah, I'm not that good. But ask and you shall receive. The thing about a potter, if you know a potter, then you've probably gotten a lot of free pottery gifts, haven't you? So ask and you shall receive. I'm not the best cleaner upper around the studio, as you can see. This is clay from previous throw. And that's okay. It's okay. I don't have to be squeaky clean. But I could be better for sure. I could definitely be better. The drink is not an olive beverage. Alright. I'm going to cut a slab of clay real quick. And I'm going to check the chat real quick. Hey, hit me up, guys. Thumb up the stream if you could. Hit me up in the chat. Let me know if you guys have any questions. You want to talk? I'm here to talk. We can talk. Otherwise, me, I got to sit here and talk to myself. That's okay. I just don't prefer it. It's okay. I'll talk to myself. Had 9 people in here. I think I just got 4 pounds of clay. 8 people in chat. I think I just got 4 pounds of clay. I feel it feels like 4 pounds. So we're gonna go with it. So our third and final throw for this pottery live stream. Here we go. Learn anything today. Be a better father. Be a better mother. Talk to your children, even about nothing. Talk to your children and then teach them, because they are always learning. And they are a reflection of you and your own learning and time allotment. I am being a better father every day I wake up. I am waking my children up and I'm telling them, today you are in Daddy's school. Welcome to Daddy's school. And all my kids love being in Daddy's school, because the difference between me and my stepfather was he didn't say, you're in Daddy's school. You were always in Daddy's school. And he didn't make Daddy's school fun, okay? And that made him not pleasant to be around. And I refuse to have that relationship with my kids. So if you learn anything today, and maybe you're not even learning it, but if you're hearing anything and taking anything away from this today, I hope it's the message that if I have children, I need to talk to my children. Even if I'm 60, 70, 90 years old, we call my children. We call my grandchildren. But family is all you have, and time is all you got. Time is the only real money. Everything else is noise and nonsense. Okay? Time is the only money. How are you spending yours? When you think about it like that, things can make a lot more sense really quickly. Talk to your children. Talk to your children. I've been talking to my children a lot more lately. And you know what I've learned about my children? They're all very awesome. I already knew. But I've learned their weaknesses. And now I can do a better job as daddy to correct those weaknesses and raise good, proper children. This is a throw stick, chat. I paid $23. $23 for this stick. Do you see the round side? Do you see the flat side? That's for getting narrow down into a pot and shaping the bottom, okay? I've never used one of these, but I just paid the $23, probably $24 after tax, for this stick to do this right here. That was easy. That was smooth. I'm not doing a paid tool review. I don't know what company that is, but what I would say is they make a fine tool. Now $22, I think me and the art store could talk about that. Jesus. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. Be a better father, be a better mother, be a better brother, be a better sister. All of you out there today, be a better you tomorrow. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Because none of us are perfect. And the second that you think that you're just doing everything the right way, is the second you start believing your own bullshit, okay? Don't believe your own bullshit. Keep yourself in check. Keep your ego in check. Life will have a way of serving you the karma that you deserve, okay? It always does. So make sure that the karma that you got coming to you is the kind of karma you want. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, fam? If you haven't already, thumb up the stream for your boy. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Man, woman, and child, thanks for tuning in. Try to keep it PC around here sometimes. On the Pottery streams, we try to. But I'm being a better me every single day. And my focus is getting much better on everything. My children, my wife, everybody is so much happier, myself included. And Life is a blessing. Life is amazing. But we all kind of take it for granted, don't we? All of us, myself included. We all take this stuff for granted. And I just feel like there's moments in time that can help you dial in. There's experiences that you can have in life that can help you dial it back in. Back to a nice center. Just like this pot, back to a nice center. Right? What were we talking about? I forgot. Being a better you. Be a better you. Be a better you. You guys already know that. You don't need me to tell you to be a better you. But if you're not trying to be a better you, how are your kids learning, right? By watching everything that you do and everything each other does. So for me in my house, I have 3 children. We just had a 9th birthday for my oldest, Ethan. He's amazing. And our next birthday is the youngest, Sophia. She's turning 5. So 9 and 5, oldest and youngest. My middle child has autism. Her name is Mila. And she is an absolute brainiac. Absolute certified genius, that little girl. Nice wall here, by the way. Oh, very nice. My daughter, Mila, she's 6. Sophia turns 5 next month. Ethan, my oldest, just turned 9. Daddy's very proud of them, all of them. And Daddy hasn't always been the best daddy. Sometimes it's easy for Mommy and Daddy to get caught up in other things and to get caught up by the day-to-day. You guys know. You guys know how it is. But every once in a while, everybody just needs a recentering, not a lecture, not in anything, but just to get back to what's important, recentering. And I think that I've really done an amazing job at that lately. Toot my own horn. But there's still more work to do every single day, right? The work isn't over just because we've begun. It's just the start. But I've done an amazing job, and I know what I'm capable of, and I know what expectations I demand of myself. So we're going to get the job done. And I'll always, every time, I'll bet on these 2 hands to succeed at anything they do, because it's what's gotten me by so far in life, and nothing else. But I know I can rely on myself, and I know that my kids are okay, therefore. So, we hold ourselves accountable, and we try to be better examples every single day. That's all I'm trying to do, and I hope you guys are all trying to do the same in your own lives as well. Right now I'm trying to make this pot better. If I can make this pot better, that sure would be nice. If I could learn how to do pottery. Ladies and gentlemen, it is hot AF in this garage. I'm starting to get a little sweaty. The stream has been going for 2 hours. But man, did you just see that pull I just did? Now I'm going to try not to mess it up, okay? There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Okay, let's see where we're at. If I was to cut this right now, so job well done, job well done. This right now would stand as the largest jar, vessel I've ever made. And honestly, I'm not even impressed. I'm not even impressed. Because I've known that I can do this. I just haven't really done it. But I've known I got the skill for this. But the true skill is in doing something very specific. Like, this is cool. But what's really nice is if I was to be able to make like a globe shape with a narrow neck, that would be incredible. That would be called like a moon jar. Okay, but what we've done so far, what we've done so far is we've made like this vase shape. And it's a little too fat. It's a little too fat for my liking, if I'm being just perfectly honest. So I'm going to try to pull it up and stretch it taller. And as I do that, I'm trying not to over drag on the sides with my hands. Because if I over drag, you see that skipping and jittering it's doing? If I over drag my hands, then the clay is not going to go vertically like I want. I have to be very conservative with my pulling on this shape. Working it all back into a central cylinder, and we're trying very carefully not to have any twisting on the interior walls. What that would imply is that my hands have too much drag on them, too much friction. All the way up and through. Okay, so we got a lot of height we can still get, I think, right here. Let's try to do some height too. Anything happening in the chat, guys? I'm going to check it here in a minute. If you got any questions, comments, let me know, man. I do read it all. I do read it all. Right now, if you're curious what I'm doing, I'm trying to get better with my wooden rib. Okay? That's what I'm trying to do right now. This is all practice for me. I'm not trying to make anything specific. This is all about time on task for me. This isn't trying to produce anything to sell. This is not about anything like that. This is just trying seeing with my eyes, feeling with my hands, trying different techniques. That is all any of this is. That is all it is. Sorry if I'm not much for conversation, trying to focus on the finish here. I am gonna get up here in just a second and check that chat. Okay, I think I see the finish line right here, boys. I think I see it. It's all about picking the right angle here. How did we go? Ugh. Flop. We did horribly. We did horribly. Oh, you see how tough this is to get off? Oh man, I gotta try to get all of this. Otherwise it'll just want to re-stick and re-mud over. Okay. Smooth out the rim, then we're going to check the chat. Piece of shrapnel here. Come on, baby. Everything with pottery will try to sabotage you at the very end. You think I'm kidding? Okay, the last thing I'm going to do here is just sponge out the bottom. You have a nice little bucket of water in here. But hey, let's have a look at this monster. Look at this monster. It's heavy. It's a pot. That's the inside there. Nothing too crazy. But this was a 3-pound lump of clay when we started. And it's still a 3-pound lump of clay. It's very heavy. I'd actually venture to say it might be as much as 4. And interesting flat ring we ended up with there on that top lip. I wonder if I should try to fix that. Nah, not worried about it. But that's what we made, guys. And this is the, third piece. This is the third piece. The third piece we threw today. So let me wash up these grubby hands. And I'm going to grab the camera, and we're done throwing. And I will completely talk to the chat for another 10 minutes. 10 minutes, 10 more minutes. You guys get 10 more minutes of me live, and then we're going to be wrapping this up. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel if you're interested in this content. If not, that's totally cool too. But if you don't mind, you know, thumbing up the stream for me. I appreciate that. This is what we made today. Beautiful vase, nice wooden rib work on that one. It's about 9 inches tall, I'd say. And this one is a little taller and a little more massive, this one here. And some nice defined flat edges on it due to the wooden rib and a nice wide opening at the base. This is a giant bowl we made for my wife. Look at that, honey. Not bad, not bad. I made one of these yesterday, about the same size. It's about 9 inches across. But I made one yesterday about the same size, and it was lost forever. I'm sorry. I'm an amateur potter, and look at all that in the beard, yo. I'm an amateur potter, and I lost a couple on the trimming wheel the other day. That's what it is. The large bowl I threw, I lost it trying to do too much. And then I remade it, and then I lost that trying to do too much. So that basically told me, well, this is enough. This is enough. And yes, I'm getting hungry. I'm getting thirsty for more beers. So no more chats that I need to catch up on. Thanks for tuning in, fam. Like and subscribe if you feel so inclined. But otherwise, Harry Potter signing off. This is Barbaric Eric. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you. Bye, Felicia.